Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here in my flat in Rochester. Good morning. It's ridiculously hot. It's boiling hot. Absolutely boiling. The height of summer. I just feel really hot and sweaty. I've got up and you just feel hot and sticky. So I splash myself with cold water to try and wake myself up a bit because it makes you feel sleepy as well. So yeah, good morning. So back to last night. I took Max for a walk, which I normally do about 10 to 7 o'clock, and the guy upstairs was in. He'd come home at 4. There was a big green plastic bag downstairs wrapped up, and it was for him. It wasn't mine. I just, everybody else's parcel was okay, and mine had come in battered and broken. And there's parcels been left there for days and not been touched or anything. So I do think it's me being targeted. So I went out and that green bag was still there. Went out of the building, and I think it's orchestrated. I just do. It's just how everything's done. I went up onto the fields and there was this old lady, grey hair, with a bun in it, and she'd been on the field previously in a stripy dress the day before. She had really short shorts on, and she was walking what looked like a pug dog, and there's a lady opposite me with a pug dog, and she's much younger. I let this lady go. I just turned around and just let this lady go, and then I walked up to the top, and then there was a man coming around, and I went down, turned around, and then there was a cyclist, and there's a load of kids congregating by the crane, and they've been doing that for some time now, just hovering about by that crane making a load of noise. And I know it was youth that was coming into my live stream and being a nuisance and taking the piss, just silly things and that's been going on for a while as well. They congregate by that crane, and I feel intimidated. But the field was full of people last night, so if they start on me or start something, there are people about. There was a jogger. As I was coming off the field, there was a jogger with short grey hair and white sunglasses, and they get quite, if I'm stood on the path, they can come up right close to you and you can feel their breath on the back of your neck, and the one pants. So this one just jogged around the field, and he had his plastic white sunglasses on, and before he approached me, I heard someone say, like, go on doggy, go on doggy. Now, I'm not making assumptions, I'm just surmising what happens, and the history of my time on YouTube and TikTok. Now, there is a guy called Andrew Goyne. He's a man, but he dresses sometimes like a woman and puts lots of thick lipstick on and hair pieces, wigs. Andrew Goyne. Andrew Goyne and Brian Harvey had fallouts, they had fights, right? And Andrew Goyne reported Brian Harvey to the police for being homophobic. Andrew Goyne lives in Liverpool. I live in Rochester, which is miles and miles and miles and miles away from Liverpool. It costs £200 to get a train to Liverpool. If someone's mentally ill and disturbed, or they thinking rashly and whatever, they can mistaken identity, whatever, but I am being targeted, I am being picked on, I am being treated like I'm a homosexual, and I'm not. I'm a straight heterosexual female. Now, I had a haircut where it was cut short, and now my hair's grown long naturally, it's grown long. Andrew Goyne, Terry Tagliatone, who is also Italian, part Italian, I would imagine, with a name like that, Tagliatone. Got nothing against Andrew Goyne. Andrew Goyne contacted me some years ago on my Facebook and on Twitter, as it was then, and X as it is now, and I'm sure I've got the messages saved that Andrew Goyne sent me. Andrew Goyne. Androgyny, Andrew Goyne. It's a play on androgyny, isn't it? Male and female, both. Androgyny, Andrew Goyne. And the real name is Terry Tagliatone. My name is Crystal Marshall. Doesn't even sound anything like Terry. So I am being targeted for some reason, and I think I possibly know one of the reasons it could be. I am not Andrew Goyne, and I've done one live stream on YouTube, one, ages ago. Andrew Goyne has got a lot of enemies, Andrew Goyne has, because she does live streams and takes the rise out of people. I don't do that. So when I went out last night, there was a Harvey utilities van. Harvey, Harvey, and I am getting a bit concerned, because the day before yesterday there was a group of lads going on about someone who was gay, right opposite me, and it's not just one or two lads, it can be about 10 or 11, and it's really quite disturbing. It is, because I'm a woman, I'm not gay, and I'm not a man either. And I don't want harm to come to myself. I don't want harm to come to anybody. Who they're particularly aiming at and why, I don't know. So Brian Harvey was called into a police station because Andrew Goyne reported Brian Harvey for homophobia, being against homosexuals, homophobia. And because Brian Harvey had threatened to actually kill Andrew Goyne. He said in a statement, he didn't mean it, he's bipolar. He threatened to kill Andrew Goyne. He's also threatened to kill Paula Mann. Paula Mann is another one of the people that Brian Harvey does not like. He's a short little man, Paula. He's a transvestite. Paula Mann is. I'm a straight female. So Paula Mann is about the same height as myself, and Brian Harvey has attacked Paula Mann verbally and threatened to have him beaten up and carried off in a white van. Right? Now this is what I'm afraid of. Being mistaken identity. This is what I'm afraid of. And is it just a coincidence that the van is called Harvey? The police now, I'm going to just keep giving everything to the police until they actually get off their backsides and start investigating who is harassing me, breaking my parcels. That was literally criminal damage, that was. The parcel that was smashed to bits. Now, I'm not taking this lightly because Brian Harvey has actually threatened 2 people to kill them in the past. Right? I'm not saying it's him. I'm just saying it could be mistaken identity. Why am I being followed around by lads and they're going on about someone who's gay? Gay. There are homophobic people out there, and Mr. UK TikTok, his brother's been beaten up. His brother is gay and he's been beaten to a pulp. There are homophobic people out there still in 2025 going around beating gay people up. It's disgusting. Broad daylight in London, Mr. UK TikTok's brother was beaten to a pulp by men in balaclavas, lads in balaclavas. That was probably mistaken identity as well. Right, so I'm trying to give you I followed Brian Harvey in 2019. I went into his live. I saw him on television. I was a fan of E17. He's on benefits, right? People felt sorry for him. I went into his live stream. I went into his chat. I spoke to him through the chat. And that's how I got involved with Andrew Goyne and the Australian guy that started picking on me, Pi Zygote. That's how I got involved with that lot. Pi Zygote started a targeted campaign on me. He gave a death threat to me and Brian Harvey, Pi Zygote, a death threat. I went to my doctors. I reported Pi Zygote to the police. I reported him to the Kent police. I went to my doctors first. I told them that I was suffering extensive bullying on YouTube from an Australian man that's got the wrong end of the stick. He was calling me an MI5 agent. He was saying I was a police officer, and all because I followed Brian Harvey, Australian man called Pi Zygote. Now Pi Zygote called me Marshall. He said, "You're involved in it, Marshall," and I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't know what he was talking about. And he said, "You and Harvey and so, you're all like gonna get it." Right? Just because I followed Brian Harvey, Pies Igo, it said I was involved in what Brian Harvey had done to him. And I didn't know what he'd done to him. And I said, can you explain yourself? And I'm a person that's nice. I said, if I've hurt you in any way, Pies Igo, I apologise. And he said, there, you've admitted it. You've admitted you're an MI5 agent. I went, no. I said, if I've underhandedly upset you, I'm sorry. And then he took it as read that I'd admitted to something I hadn't done. And he started a targeted campaign of harassment against me. And Pies Igo has got a white car. He's got a white car. Somebody came to my address and went, Marshall, not Miss Marshall. They looked at me sternly and went, Marshall. Pies Igo knew my previous address because I'd sent him a Christmas card, and he'd humiliated me on YouTube. Well, he humiliated himself because several people felt sorry for me, sending him a Christmas card, and then he starts a campaign of hate and harassment on me. And basically he tried to, he didn't have that many followers anyway. He was just making a fool of himself, to be fair. And so all this harassment may be coming from him, I don't know. And if it's a guy in Australia, what can I do to stop that, or the British police? I reported Pies Igo to the police for death threats. And don't underestimate a small Australian man. His father's rich. Pies got about 12 computers. I am getting harassment on my TikTok now from someone in Australia. And they do say hello beautiful. All my TikTok is hello beautiful, hello beautiful, hello beautiful, hello pretty, how are you today? Someone is deliberately trying to spoil my peace and happiness every single day, and it's on TikTok, it's full of it. And then if they can't get me on TikTok, they go onto Facebook using fake profiles of all sorts of people. That is not them, they're fake. And some of them are sexual, and some of them to me could be dangerous. I have got a phone full of photographs of a man who's shown his face and exposed himself to me on TikTok. And I don't know if a group of lads are paying adult men to expose themselves. This guy sent me about 8 pictures and a video of himself just with his what's it hanging out. And Charlie, that guy, he was involved with kids, talking to teenagers. That Sean Clark gave my photograph to a young man. Sean Clark did. He gave my photograph to a young man without my permission. He was actually meeting a young man at a railway station and selling computer games to a bloke while he was live streaming me on Facebook. See how you can underhandedly get involved with things when you talk to people on the internet without yourself even knowing what these guys are doing. I have got young people harassing me outside. I don't know who they are. Anyway, I came home. I'd had a pretty shitty day. There was noise going on all day. He came in, he was noisy, racket, puts the washing machine on, bang, bang, bang. And I go out, and then I come back, and why hasn't he taken his parcel? Why is his parcel still on the floor? he would have known that was his parcel. So his parcel is still on the floor at 8 o'clock. Still in pristine condition where it was left. I walk past it and just go upstairs to my flat. Come into my flat, he is making heavy noise, and I'm just sat there, and I'm tired of it all. It just goes in one ear and out the other. I'm being treated like a little kid, like, you know, I'm 2 years old, and because my parcel's got broken, I'm going to do damage to someone else's. No, I'm not. I'm not like that. I'm a nice person. I'm a good person. I don't do things like that. It's awful living like this, being treated like you're a criminal. And my mother tries to up the ante, right? There's noise going on last night till quite late. And basically, she doesn't ring me all day. She rings me late in the evening. Well, isn't this boring, isn't it? I'm sat here, I'm doing my journal, I'm playing a game, I'm just acting normal. And they are trying to cause trouble to get some views to watch, to get something interesting going on. And getting me all riled up and stressed and angry excites them all. It gets them going. And they have to call me names, treat me like shit to do it. And it's horrible living like this. And when those social workers came out, I actually thought they was going to do something to help me. And I haven't reported that to the police yet. So when the police contact me, right, and they're going to, I'm going to tell them about these 2 social workers that came into my flat, and I do need help. And I do need to get out of here. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning, and a very happy birthday to singer-songwriter Barry Manilow. One of his biggest hits was I Write the Songs, but ironically he didn't actually write that one. Many happy returns, Barry. Looks like you made it.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 9 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Tuesday the 17th of June.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
Right now in Rochester, it's 18 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast has lots of clouds, with a high of 28 degrees and a low of 13 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What kind of cheese can you use to hide a horse? Mascarpone.
Alexa, which celebrity was born on this day? Alexa, celebrities born on this day.
Celebrities born on the 17th of June include Kendrick Lamar, Monica Barbaro, Tramell Tillman, Venus Williams, and Will Forte.
Right, guys, so the saga goes on, doesn't it? It goes on as to who is doing this, who is harassing, who is stalking, and it's possibly more than one person. Are they working together? Are they working separately to cause me harm and distress? Which is, no, it's not a nice thing to do, but they're still doing it. So the police called me last night when I went to bed, and the police have called me first thing this morning. I don't really want to talk to the police. I just want I want the incident number, and then I want to move out of this flat and start again. See you later.